Hello and welcome to my home. If you are new here, I'm Kelsey. Today we decorate for Christmas. It is nearly upon us. I can't believe it. Time is just flying by, but I want to savor this season. I love it so much. So join me as I bring my vision for an old-time, quaint cottage Christmas to life. At least that's what I'm referring to it as, although I don't really have a set theme I'm going with. I just combine all of the things I love. So there are elements of like Victorian and some colonial Williamsburg thrown in there, some English Cottage, and some various thrifts and antiques that I have brought into my home over the years. If you have watched any of my past decorating videos, you may remember I don't really store up themed decor for any of the holidays. I just choose to use what I have on hand. I try and bring in colors of the season. I always incorporate a lot of nature, and here I'm using some food. These are apples that we are going to eat, and I will just replace them every week. But I love adding those small touches that really make a big difference. I don't think you need to spend a whole lot of money on decor. Greenery and festive colors can bring a whole lot of Christmas cheer into a space. If it were up to me, I would use fresh greenery for garlands all over the house. But two issues there. Number one, we have coal heat, so it is just very dry in our home, and they don't last very long, and I'm just constantly cleaning up needles, and I'm left with a bare garland just a few weeks in. Number two, my allergies can only take so much, and I won't give up my real Christmas tree. So the garlands got replaced. I now use faux, but I got these really great deal last year on super clearance. So each year as they go on clearance, I pick up an extra one or two to add to my decor each year. Now this picture is from one of my most recent antique hauls. And if you watched that video, you know I wasn't sure if I was going to use this brown pottery piece or my white ironstone. I decided I wanted to go with warmth this year, so I went with this one. Now, almost never do I like how things turn out on the first try, so I will decorate and then I'll redecorate and I'll redecorate again until it turns out how I had envisioned it. There's a lot of trial and error, a lot of zhuzhing things up and moving things around. But when I work with my mantle, I try and bring in different textures and colors and height, depth, all of the things. I try to bring balance without having it look overly symmetrical, if that makes sense. One of my favorite finds when antiquing is brass candlesticks. You can't go wrong with brass candlesticks. They work for every season. I love changing out the taper candles, different colors, and if you watched my fall decorating video, the battery-powered taper candles are amazing. I have them in the wall sconces here. I just ordered another pack for these here on the mantle. I love the ambiance it sets at night. It's such a beautiful glow, and I'm not sure why I didn't purchase them sooner. The mantel's almost finished, but I felt it needed just something else. So we're gonna do an orange garland. I don't know if I could ever not do an orange garland somewhere in my house during the holidays. It's just such a beautiful, lovely piece, and it smells amazing. So if you've ever had issues with your oranges turning to brown once drying them in the oven, my trick is to sprinkle them with salt on each side, let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then dab them off before putting them into the oven at the lowest setting for 5 to 6 hours, however long it takes. That salt will draw out the moisture and the sugars, preventing some of that caramelization that happens, and you're left with these beautiful, bright, cheery oranges. Now this manger scene, my dad made actually. He and my mom had a craft business. Growing up, we would spend a lot of holiday season weekends at craft shows. A very fond memory of mine growing up, and I love having this in my home. Both of my kiddos have played with it over the years. It's a sweet piece of my dad that I get to cherish. A favorite way of mine to spruce up the home for any season, or what I refer to as the warm and cozies, the blankets and the pillows. They can make a world of difference. I keep a bin of them, things I find on clearance or antiquing that I can pull from. And I usually can find something that goes with my theme for the year. So I just chose some comfy, cozy, warm colors this year, and some nice contrasting patterns. Now, I think I may have said this in every single one of my Christmas decorating videos. I have been meaning to embroider our names on these stockings. As you can see, it has not yet happened. Perhaps we will see if it happens next year. Time always seems to get away from me, and really, I'm holding out for a vintage quilt find that I would love to repurpose. Find an old tattered one that needs some new life and make it into some stockings for us.
Hold it. Oh, that's nice.
Getting a real Christmas tree from a Christmas tree farm, going out and cutting it down, is something that I grew up with. It is a Christmas memory of mine. It's a tradition I've carried on with my kids. I don't know that I could give it up. I have contemplated, because like I said, I have allergies, and usually all throughout the holiday season, my nose is very stuffy. I love it so much, though. The tree, not the stuffy nose. But I love this for my kids. I love the memories that it brings back for me. And I guess I will just deal with the stuffy nose, but we could always change that in the future years if it becomes too much. But I'm curious, are you team real tree or faux tree. This year, I did decide to purchase something for Christmas that I've been wanting for a long time. These little battery-powered candles for the tree. I had a few requirements. I wanted them to be a warm light. I didn't want like an LED bright light. And I wanted ones that would pivot at the bottom. You'll see here in a second, they're on like this little ball, and you can move them all different angles. Because I know I am a little bit of a perfectionist, I would not like it if put them on the branch and they would not stand up straight. So I had to find ones that could pivot like that. And I love that they're remote controlled. They have a little twinkle setting, which is just lovely at night. The kids adore that. Now I will say, if you have a real tree, you need to have sturdy branches. I always go for the Fraser firs, and it seemed to work well with the Fraser fir. I'm not sure about some of the other types of trees. I'm sure it would work fine with a faux tree, but keep that in mind. You need some sturdy branches. Now I'm keeping the tree pretty simple this year. I was only going to go with some of these red bead garlands and some oranges, but you'll see in a little bit I did add a few other touches. The next morning, I woke up and I looked at it, and it needed something else. So I had some of these other handmade ornaments from years past packed away, and I thought I'd bring them out just to add some more depth to the tree. It needed some more warmth, and I did find a few of my vintage glass ornaments in reds and greens I decided to add as well. I may still add some tinsel. I'm not sure yet. What do we think? Tinsel or no tinsel? I wanted to make some Victorian looking stars / snowflakes to hang over the windows in the living room. So we just have some little lunch bags here, and you put a bead of hot glue right down the center, and then a line at the very base in a T shape. You need 8 bags per star. You want to make sure you lay them on top of each other. They're all facing the same direction. And then I just did a few patterns over the top portion, cut that out. And then I took a hole punch and punched a few holes there in the scallops to provide some opportunity for some light to peek through. Super inexpensive way to deck the halls for Christmas. I think they turned out really pretty. I love how they turn out in front of a window. The light just seems to glow through them. I do like to decorate in the kitchen just a little bit. I spend a lot of time in there. So this shelf that you always see behind me in all my videos, I like to spruce that up a bit. So I decided to display those antique hollyberry plates that I found, the little teacup, and the drinking glasses, and then of course some bows, some berries, and some greenery. The last little bit of decorating I did was over in the kids' toy room. There's not a whole lot of space over there to decorate, but I like to put something on top of the piano. This little village, it's called the Alpine Village, is very vintage, and it belonged to Matt, my husband's grandmother. It's such a sweet little piece. I love setting it up every year. The kids always enjoy seeing the little village lit up at night. Thank you for hanging out with me today as we decorated the home for Christmas. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you got a little bit of inspiration along the way. Just a gentle reminder to slow down, remember what matters, and find joy in the simple things. There's beauty to be found everywhere. Enjoy this Christmas season. Be a blessing. Be a light. Many blessings to you, my friend. Until next time, take care.